Akhilesh Yadav, Mulayam Singh Yadav, Lalu Prasad Yadav, Muhammad Ali Ashraf Fatmi, Rajendra Deria Gavit, Shri Eknath Shinde,
Present.
Kanimosi Karunanidhi, A. Raja,
Present.
Harsimrat Kaur Badal, Sukhbir Singh Badal, Ritesh Pandey, Sangeeta Azad, Dr. Farooq Abdullah,
Present.
C. Lal Rosanga,
Present.
Asardin Ovasi, Dulal Chandra Goswami, Srinivas Mani Reddy,
Present.
Indra Hang Suba, Mimi Chakrabarti, Dana
Present.
Durai. So I'll just get back to you about the people who are present. So there are 17 present.
In that scenario, 9 happens to be the majority. Plus, I am not seeing Narendra Singh Tomar Sahab. So, Narendra Modi ji, would you like to allocate this portfolio to someone, or you will be the agriculture minister too?
Sir, I would like to be the agriculture minister as well.
So, you prefer to keep the agriculture portfolio with yourself?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, so all the questions that are expected to be addressed to Narendra Singh Tomar must be addressed to Narendra Modi now. Rajnath Singh, 2 more points, sir.
A point of personal privilege. Deputy Speaker ma'am said that there were 17 present, but I guess there are 18 from in this Zoom chat.
Yes, Karunanidhi, she just said she's present on
Okay.
chat. So there are 18.
Okay.
So 10 will be the majority. Any points on the floor? Narendra Modi ji for one. 1 point, sir.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, motion to move into a short period discussion on the topic modernization
Sir,
of
I
agriculture.
was seeking points, not motions as of now.
No, sir, no points.
Yeah, any point on the floor, anyone? Seeing none, any motions on the floor? Yes, Farooq Abdullah Sahab.
Just a minute. I, Farooq Abdullah, would like to raise a short period discussion on modernization of agricultural reforms and agritech for per individual speaker time 120 seconds for 1 hour.
All right, sir. Will you please mind repeating the agenda once more?
Sir, modernization of agricultural reform and agritech.
Okay. Uh, all right. Next we'll take Madam Supriya Singh.
Sir, I had the same agenda and therefore I lowered my hand.
Narendra Modi ji.
So same agenda as we discussed.
Very good. Posed by Shifal Abdullah as to a short period discussion on modernization of agricultural reforms and agritech. Those in favor will raise their hands now. All right, this motion clearly passes. Farooq Abdullah Saab, would you like to be the first speaker?
Fine, sir.
Fine, nahi, it is a choice to.
No, sir, first. As you wish.
All right. Farooq Abdullah followed by Piyush Goyal. Members wishing to make statements. Farooq Abdullah, Piyush Goyal, Giriraj Singh, A. Raja, Narendra Modi, Indra Yadav, Nirmala Sitaraman, Moitra, Rajnath Singh, Manesh Srinivas Reddy, Arjun Munda, and Hardeep being the last. All right, thank you, everyone. Mr. Farooq Abdullah said you have the floor for next 2 minutes. Can you go ahead?
OC member, can I get the timer on the screen?
Haji Srinivas Reddy, have any questions?
No, sir. Bye, Mr.
Hi, Raja, have any
Yes, sir.
questions?
Sir, I would like to request for that sequence of the speakers list.
Is there an OC member here present?
Dave,
They will be doing it.
Yes.
Dave, are you here?
Yep. Could you please share this
Perfect.
timer screen?
अरे 1 मिनट दादा, 1 मिनट कर रहा है यार. चलिए. Perfect. Let's start from the lesson.
On my 3, 2 and 1. भारत में किसान की क्षमता को सुधार हेतु अत्यधिक प्रयास किए जाने की आवश्यकता है और है भी, मतलब थी भी और है भी. कम से कम जब तक शिक्षित युवा किसान मौजूद अल्प शिक्षित, छोटे एवं अनपढ़ और बेरोजगार किसानों को शिक्षित नहीं करेंगे, तब तक हमारे किसान की कल्याण हेतु कार्य नहीं हो पाएगा. इस माध्यम से किसानों की प्रतिस्पर्धी नहीं दी जा सकती है. सीमित भूमि क्षेत्र में अधिक उत्पादन के लिए उत्तम स्तर की बीजों का प्रयोग अति आवश्यक है. असमय की मांग है ये. जन विज्ञान के माध्यम से आम बात की गई होगी. जैविक तकनीक के ज्ञान से उपयोगी रोग प्रतिरोधक एवं कीड़क प्रतिरोधक क्षमता वाले जीवों की अधिक कीटनाशक की आवश्यकता नहीं होती है. इसे न केवल पर्यावरण होती है, हानिकारक होता है. फर्टिलाइजर की जहां तक बात, सरकार जो एजुकेशन के नाम पे लोगों को बरगला रही है और बरगलाने के साथ साथ हमारी मिट्टी की खाद उपज को भी कम कर रही है. जहां तक ज्यादा से ज्यादा हम लोग फर्टिलाइजर यूज करते हैं, वहीं हमारे जमीन की उपजाऊ क्षमता हो जाती है. मुफ्त और सबसे ज्यादा देश है, लेकिन फिर भी हम लोग इसमें किसानों की क्षमता में या प्रोडक्टिविटी में अभी भी नंबर 1 पे नहीं पहुंच पाए हैं. इसके लिए जिम्मेदार कौन है? मैं सरकार से ये पूछना चाहूंगा. ओवर 10 साल में 2000 होती थी किसानों की जहां तक बात करें, और एनसीआरबी की रिपोर्ट कहती है कि 2019 में 10,281 हुई थी किसान. 2020 में 10,677 कैसे हो गई? इसका जवाब दे सरकार.
Thank you so much, everyone. Kindly check the message. Any points on the speech made by Mr. Farooq Abdullah? Any points, anyone? Good. Seeing none, we move on to the next speaker, Piyush.
Good morning, honorable speaker. I, Piyush Goyal, would like to put forth my points to you all. Modernization agriculture is a traditional labor-based agriculture to technology-based agriculture. Yes, we accept agriculture sector is the only sector which is lagging behind because of limited use of technology, and we are trying to overcome from it. First of all, I would like to say India is the second most agricultural based country which produce agriculture in abundance. And as Mr. Farooq said, we are not using technology as very proper. I would like to say we are using irrigation method and solar panel method for using technology for in agriculture. In irrigation, we are trying to increase the groundwater level, and in solar panel we are trying to reduce the presence of petrol and diesel, so that a farmer can use direct sunlight, and he can cut down the cost of petrol and diesel. As our Prime Minister has already present PM Kusum Yojana, in which a farmer can get subsidies of 60%, and he can borrow a loan of 30% to NABARD, and a farmer has to pay only 10%, which is quite I think which is quite affordable to them. And from this scheme, farmer can save electricity generated by solar panel, and he sell implement.
Points well noted, Piyush Goyal. Any points on the floor? Okay. Moving forward, we'll go to Giriraj Singh.
Thank you for the recognition, Madam Deputy Speaker. Incorporation of agritech in agriculture will lead to smart farming, and smart farming has emerged as to be the need of the hour for Indian agricultural sector. It is much more efficient than the traditional methods of farming. Smart farming, which involves the application of sensors and automated irrigation practices, can help monitor agricultural land, temperature, and soil moisture, etc. This would enable farmers to monitor crops from anywhere. Moreover, smart farming can help integrate digital and physical infrastructure, which would benefit small farmers. Now, we do understand the small and the marginal farmers of India find it challenging to integrate digital and physical infrastructure, which hampers their revenue growth. But this is where the agro-based startups can step in. They can reach out to the farmers and help them gain access to such viable and cost-effective solutions. According to a report published by the National Association of Software and Service Companies in 2019, there were more than 450 agri-based tech-driven startups in India as of 2019. And as of 2021, the funding in these agri-based startups has reached up to 1.6 billion US dollars. So this is incorporation of these sector will lead to the modernization of agriculture. Now coming to what the government has particularly done regarding this. One of the first initiatives regarding this was the crop yield reduction model using artificial intelligence. This was launched in 2018, and the National Institution for Transforming India, which is the NITI Aayog, partnered with the IBM for developing a crop yield product prediction model using AI. The next was AI sensors of smart farmers, in which the government partners with the Microsoft to help the farmers do this. Then we have the drones being used for monitoring soil and crop health, which again leads to excessive modernization of it and helping the farmers to gain it. Now, our government has always focused on digitalization. So now we also tend to focus digitalization in terms of agriculture, setting up agricultural institutes to help the farmers educate them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any points? Okay, moving forward, we have A. Raja.
Morning, Honorable Speaker, sir, and all the dear members. So when you talk about the agri-tech, so in India, we are the second most abundant economy, which has around 56% of our population based on agriculture and allied sectors related to it. But it is the acceptance of our people as being used as a IT slaves is more than being used in the agriculture sector. Is the main cause that is responsible for our condition over these years. In our government efforts are not put on this part. यहाँ इन्हें सिर्फ ये ध्यान रहता है कि हम किन चीजों को बेच सकते हैं और उनसे कैसे हम बता सकते हैं कि हमने रिफॉर्म्स किए हैं. ये एक्चुअली रिफॉर्म्स नहीं है, रिफ्रेशमेंट्स हैं जो ये हर साल अपनी सरकार बचाने के लिए देते हैं. और मैं तो सिर्फ ये कहना चाहूंगा कि अगर आपसे चलाया नहीं जाता तो आप ये सब छोड़ दो, ये रिफ्रेशमेंट देना बंद कर दो, गिव अस अ रिलीफ. और ये सब बचने के बाद भी ये बोलेंगे कि एयरपोर्ट भेज दो, ये भेज दो, वो भेज दो. मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ कि आपकी सरकार में, इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में क्या कमी है? गवर्नमेंट, क्या आपको पैसे का कमी है, क्या आपको पावर का कमी है, कि किस चीज का कमी है आपको कि हर बार आपको प्राइवेट सेक्टर की तरफ देखना पड़ता है? यू कैन डू एवरीथिंग व्हाट यू वांट. आप अगर इंश्योर नहीं करेंगे देंगे, इनका क्वालिटी और इकोनॉमी पे ध्यान नहीं देंगे, हमारे फार्मर जो है इलिटरेट या लोअर प्राइमरी एजुकेशन से भी कम पास, अगर आप उन्हें अपने एग्रीकल्चर इंस्टीट्यूशन बराबर आगे कहना चाहूंगा। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Next we have Narendra. Okay, Dr. Shrikant Eknath Shinde, what's your point?
I would like to raise a point of order. So Mr. A. Raja talked about the literacy. Point out that the literacy among the farmers are still above the 70.
सब पढ़े लिखे हैं.
Okay, sir, I will withdraw my point of order.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Point not in order. Lastly, यार एक चीज है. I believe all of you are using your laptops, right? Laptops, PCs जो भी है, मोबाइल से शायद ही कोई कनेक्टेड हो. ऐसा?
Yes, sir. I am connected through my mobile phone.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I hope you aren't having any access to a laptop or a PC as such.
Sorry. What did
Still,
you say?
कोई बात नहीं. हाँ, मैं ये पूछ रहा हूँ कि आपके पास फिर PC या लैपटॉप नहीं है अभी?
Sir, I have, but it is not working properly, so I'm using my.
कोई बात नहीं. के मैसेज क्या कहना चाह रहे हो?
मैं टाइप करने की कोशिश कर रहा था, वो एंटर कर रहा हूं.
तुम्हें लैपटॉप में वर्ड फाइल बनानी नहीं आती है?
आती है ना,
तो उसमें लिख लो यार, फिर लास्ट में पेस्ट कर देना.
ओके सर.
ये चैट को स्पैम क्या कर रहे हो?
ओके सर, सॉरी.
आप मोबाइल पे यूज कर रहे हैं तो मोबाइल पे नोट्स होते हैं, वहां पे सवाल लिख लो पहले तुम्हें जो भी लिखना है, उसके बाद फाइनली कॉपी करके सेंड कर देना. Why are you spamming this chat box?
Okay sir, point. Okay sir, we'll follow that.
All right, thank you so much. Slay kindly take.
Next we have Shri Narendra Modi. You have the floor for the next 2 minutes.
Thank you ma'am. I'll start on 3, 2 and 1. जैसे कि ए राजा साहब ने अभी भी कहा कि फार्मर लिटरेसी कम है. गवर्नमेंट ने अपने नेशनल ई गवर्नेंस प्लान इन एग्रीकल्चर के तहत काफी सारी स्टेट प्रोजेक्ट मॉनिटरिंग यूनिट्स सेटअप की हैं, जिससे डेटा डिजिटाइजेशन और ब्लॉक लेवल कनेक्टिविटी मिलेगी. मैं ए राजा साहब को बताना चाहता हूं कि as far as farmer education goes, the government has developed a one-stop window as a farmer portal for dissemination of information on various agriculture seeds, such as the high-yield variety, watersheds, mandi details, etc. That is not all. We also have an SMS service called M-Kisan with more than 5 crore registered farmers who avail the benefit of routine crop and farming advisories and information. यहाँ पे ही बात नहीं खत्म होती. We also have various mobile applications like Kisan Suvidha developed to facilitate information on critical parameters such as market prices, plant protection, agro advisory, cold storage, etc. The government has also set up in the process of setting up various farmer produce organizations, FPOs, that benefit directly from the fund transfer schemes of the government to avail larger credits and investment in the sector and facilitate digitization. तो ये सिर्फ प्राइवेटाइजेशन नहीं हो रहा है. और यहाँ पे हमारे देश की एक परेशानी है, हमें प्राइवेटाइजेशन से बहुत कुछ सख्त नफरत सी है. मैं इन्हें ये बताना चाहूंगा कि गवर्नमेंट ने किसान ड्रोन प्लान लॉन्च किया है, जिसके तहत private startups have come up with drones that can carry 5 to 10 kg of fertilizers, जो कि फारूक अब्दुल्ला साहब की भी प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करते हैं, because it checks indiscriminate use of fertilizers and pesticides by coming up with field analysis, and it also saves time and money of the farmers involved. To be pushed there, startups also creates jobs in the country itself and gives more employment to the youth. क्योंकि वो ताकि वो हमारी कंट्री में रहे, तो फिर बाद में दूसरे ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज ये ना बोले कि गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट नहीं कर रही है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Supriya Surya. You have the floor.
Before that, Manya Adhyaksh Mahoday, I have a point of order to raise. May I?
Yes, you may.
मोदी जी ने ये कहा कि जो एम किसान पॉलिसी है उसके थ्रू उनके रजिस्ट्रेशन का जो आंकड़ा था, I would like to inform that it's more than 1.7 crores and not what he stated. So I think it could have been precise.
Madam, did he mention a particular figure?
Yes, he did.
What was it?
I guess it was more than 5 lakhs or so.
Is 1.7 crore more than 5 lakhs or not?
So, but then the figure was not precise.
Oh, whatever. क्या उन्होंने फैक्चुअली कुछ गलत स्टेट करा?
नहीं sir, I'm sorry.
या लेकर
I'll
You may
start at
continue.
count.
Yes.
3, 2, 1. The existing system is too rigid that it is difficult to break and scale the new business models. There is a presumption that agriculture cannot have a viable business model. And when the business models do not meet the expectations, the investors shy away. Lack of funds leaves the agritech startups cash strapped as it fails to lure investors since rate of interest in agritech relatively takes time. Also, the uncertainty in weather conditions, hailstorms, heavy rainfalls, or drought impacts the crop produce directly affecting the investments that are being made and the interests of the investors. Lack of commercial guidance, हमने फंडिंग तो प्रोवाइड कर दी पर हमने उनको यही नहीं बताया कि उनको यूटिलाइज किस तरीके से करना है. There has to be a guidance to the farmers, to the ones who are entrepreneurs and are willing to start agri-tech startups. And also, startup incubators do not have the expertise and competence to guide these farm-oriented startups. Their focus is chiefly on IT, health, etc. And this proves to be a problem for the ones who want to succeed. Now that there lacks a subject matter, experts or mentors. One of the chief problems faced is that not many mentors are available in this space. The experienced ones who are available are not entrepreneurs, and the ones have no idea about this space. There is also a need for education support for the next generation in this field. It is very important that when we start an agricultural startup, there has to be a proper system being conducted for acknowledging and spreading awareness regarding it. And it has to be a huge subject matter in context of farmers. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Points well noted. Next, we have Bhupendra Yadav. You have the floor for the next 2 minutes.
नमस्कार उपाध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि आज के समय में खेती में आधुनिकीकरण करना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि हमसे भी पीछे जो देश थे खेती में आज वो आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, लेकिन हमारा देश जो है वो राजनीति के चंगुल से उभर नहीं पा रहा है और किसानों के हित में जब सरकार काम करने जाती है तो विपक्षी दल और एवं अन्य दल उनका विरोध करते हैं और इसके कारण किसानों का नुकसान होता है। मैं आपको बता देना चाहता हूं कि हमारे ही मित्र देश इजराइल में, जो कि एक रेगिस्तान और बंजर जमीन वाली देश है, वहां पे आधुनिक खेती का ऐसा प्रचार प्रसार किया गया कि आज वो देश खेती पे ही निर्भर होने के कगार पे है। लेकिन हमारा देश जो है वो खेती से हट के आज दूसरे कामों में बढ़ते जा रहा है। लेकिन हमारी सरकार अब खेती में आधुनिकरण लाने के विचार में है और उसके तरफ हम बढ़ रहे हैं। यदि हमारी सरकार इसमें सफल होती है तो भारत का किसान फिर से एक एक अन्नदाता और साथ में एक धनवान व्यक्ति के रूप में कहलाया जाएगा और भारत फिर से सोने की चिड़िया कहलाई जाएगी। जिन जिन विपक्षी दलों ने 70 साल से हमारे देश को लूटा, कुछ महाराष्ट्र जैसे राज्यों को लूटा और साथ में उन्होंने इरिगेशन स्कैम भी किया, उनके लिए एक बात हम कहना चाहते हैं कि आपने भले ही किसानों को लूटा, भले ही लोगों को लूटा, लेकिन हमारी सरकार जो है अब वो किसानों के लिए काम करेगी, ना कि आपके लिए। यदि आज किसानों के हित में आधुनिकरण होता है तो उनके लिए ही एक अच्छी बात है, ना ही हमारे और आपके व्यक्तिगत लोभ के लिए। तो मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार हमेशा से ही किसानों के हित में रही है और आधुनिकरण के दौर में अब भारत का किसान गुजरेगा और उससे स्वर्णिम काल शुरू होगा। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Speaker, for allowing me to speak. I want to start that this is very important debate where we are discussing on modernization of technology and how agriculture can go in ahead. So I want to make a point that our government has worked very hard on the modernization. Like we have DBT, that we are directly transferring the cash into the account of the farmers. We have a proper procurement system. We are using MET like a market, online market, so that farmers can sell their products. We are also providing with modernization transportation expressway. Like UP has 4 expressways now, so we are connecting the expressway to them so that transportation gets modernized. We are also providing so that their working can go to zero budget, like we are spelling awareness, how can they do national farming, but it is a slow agriculture system so we have to go slow and work it out. And also we have done modernization in our working, and all the things have become online. We have in modernization easily credit is available to the farmers, and we have also started soil health cards for the farmers so they can know how much there is the mitti. And for water, for irrigation also, there is a very specific modernization that pipe which looks at how we can go ahead with the modern technology and natural farming. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, ma'am. Next we have Madam Mohitra. You have the floor for the next 2 minutes.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, for recognizing me. Agriculture in India is livelihood for majority of the population and can never be underestimated. Although its contribution in GDP has reduced to less than 20% and the contribution of other sectors has increased at a faster rate, agriculture production has grown. This has made us self-sufficient and taken us from a begging bowl of food after independence to a net exporter. The total food grain production in the country is estimated to be a record of 291.95 million tons, according to the second advanced estimates. This news is very happy news, but as per the estimates of Indian Council for Agriculture Research, demand for food grain would increase to 345 million tons by 2030. Increasing population, increasing average income, globalization effects in India will increase the demand for quality, quantity, and nutritious and variety of food. Therefore, pressure on decreasing available cultivable land to produce more quantity, variety, and quality of food will keep on increasing. What the government has done till date for increasing the cultivable land which is about 45% of the land that is available till date is cultivable. Rising water crisis has been seen. The ruling party is trying to change the farmers in a risky business because of their sheer number and political power. Piyush Goyal ji himself said that the tech is very unused by farmers. आपका प्रचार और प्रसार कहाँ गया सर? मोदी गवर्नमेंट तो हर बार हर चीज के लिए थाली पिटवा सकती है, तो इस चीज का प्रचार और प्रसार नहीं कर पा रही है कि किसानों का भला ना हो। भूपेंद्र यादव जी, हम लोग ऑपोजिशन में हैं, इसलिए भला चाहते हैं अपने देश का। सिर्फ ऑपोजिशन में है इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि हम आपकी पार्टी का विरोध इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हम ऑपोजिशन में हैं। नहीं, हम भला चाहते हैं और हम जानते हैं कि आपकी पॉलिसी सिर्फ और सिर्फ अमीरों को अमीर और गरीबों को गरीब बना रही है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, ma'am. Any points? Okay, moving forward, we have Rahul Gandhi. You have the floor for the next 2 minutes.
Till now, my fellow parliamentarians have spoken of how there are provisions that can help digitalize and make the traditional agricultural space more modern and technology driven. However, I would like to introduce a new form of agriculture that we can promote that will help us put in more graduates, agricultural graduates into the business of agriculture and not move out into other diaspora of jobs. One of those suggestions can be that of introducing aeroponic systems in barren land. So ideally, aeroponics means where you can grow small crops with merely mist water and nutrients. That saves around 99% of water that is used in regular agriculture, and the electricity required can be very easily produced by renewable sources, and the other infrastructure required is actually usually done with recycled plastic. The important thing to note here is that we're talking about modernization and agricultural growth. The last time we did this was during the Green Revolution, and we all saw how the lack of sustainability aspect in the Green Revolution has led to deterioration actually of agricultural produce. So this time around, when we focus on agriculture, one very essential thing that we need to see is we're making our new policies more sustainable and environmental friendly. So well, aeroponic farms are an option. We also need to promote more scientific methods on, say, treated water being sent to farms, or there are a lot of sewage to fertilizer programs that need to be promoted. There's several other methods that can improve shelf life of our food, and we need to also work on cold storage chains. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have
Warm greetings to the Honorable Deputy Speaker, ma'am, and the respected members. Keeping in line with the needs of the 21st century, our government is trying its best to involve as much as possible in the agrarian sector and to involve technology in this sector too. It is for this reason that we are pursuing for the efforts such as the Electronic National Agricultural Marketing, ENAM, which is a pan-India electronic trading platform that networks the existing APMC Mandis to create a unified national market for agricultural commodities. And along with that, we have the Submission on Agricultural Mechanization, or SMAM, that aims to seek to increase the reach of farm mechanization to small and marginal farmers and improve agricultural productivity. And recently, we have amended the rules of SMAM so that we can provide for cheaper and easier access of drones to our beloved farmers. A member of the parliament mentioned about fertilizers and pesticides, but I would like to say is that their views on this were nothing but outdated rhetoric. There are already plans in the advanced level ready wherein the central government is going to constitute a central pesticides board to advise the central government in formulating standards and best practices for pesticide manufacturers, laboratories, and pest control operators, working conditions and training of workers, and recall and disposal of pesticides. And just that we are merely focusing on pesticides does not mean that we are not focusing on organic farming. I would like to jog up the memories of the members of the House regarding the government's organic farming policies, including the Mission Value Chain Development for Northeastern Region, MOVCD NER, and the Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, PKVY, which is doing commendable for developing agricultural farming in the organic sector in the country. Moving forward, I hope that we can make even more rapid strides in this field by devising new schemes for the use of different new cutting edge technology in this field. And with that being said, I would wish to wind up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Mani Srinivas Reddy. You have the floor for the next 2 minutes.
Hello, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Start in 3, 2, 1. प्रणाम डिप्टी स्पीकर महोदया, धन्यवाद मुझे बोलने का मौका देने के लिए। भारत एक कृषि प्रधान देश है, परंतु क्या सच में यहाँ का किसान एक प्रधान की तरह जी पा रहा है? जिसका उत्तर है बिल्कुल नहीं। हमारे किसानों को 2 जून की रोटी मिलना भी बहुत मुश्किल से नसीब हो पाता है। यह बल्कि उनकी मेहनत और उनकी कार्य की क्षमता और बढ़ चुकी है। यह क्योंकि बदलते समय के अनुसार हमारी मांगे बढ़ रही है, हमारी डिमांड्स बढ़ रही है, और इसी कारण हमें यहाँ पर नए-नए विकल्पों का चयन करना जरूरी है। हमारी सरकार ने तेलंगाना में विभिन्न प्रकार के स्कीम्स किसानों की भलाई के लिए लाए हैं, जिसमें से एक है ड्रोन का यूज करना पेस्टिसाइड्स का छिड़काव करने के लिए। और हमें यह बोलने में बिल्कुल संकोच नहीं है कि इसके लिए हम केंद्र सरकार का बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद देते हैं, क्योंकि उनके सहयोग के बिना यह कार्य बिल्कुल मुश्किल था। और हमारे देश की तकरीबन 50% आबादी खेती से जुड़ी हुई है, और लेकिन परंतु इसका जीडीपी में हिस्सा 19 से 20% ही है। तो यह एक सोचने की बात है, और इसका एक कारण यह है कि हमारे जैसे कि एक परिवार में 5 लोग हैं और जमीन 2 बीघा है, तो 5 के 5 लोग 2 बीघा की जमीन पर कार्य करते हैं, लेकिन यह कार्य 1 या 2 लोग भी किया जा सकता है। तो ये जो समस्या है, इसका कारण हमारी सरकार को सोचना चाहिए। और एक और चीज जैसे कि एक और समस्या है किसानों की बढ़ती आत्महत्या को लेकर। इसके लिए हमारी केंद्र सरकार क्या प्रयास कर रही है, मैं यह जानना चाहता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. We have Arjun Munda next for the next 2 minutes.
I have a point of order.
Sorry. Yes, Supriya, sorry.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, it was said that 50% of the Indian population is engaged in agriculture, but it is noted that 54.6% of the Indian population.
Yeah, let's move to the next speaker.
So I could not hear you.
Yeah, point in order. हाँ, श्रीनिवास रेड्डी साहब।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैंने तकरीबन 50% कहा था।
You said 30. That might be a slip of tongue.
My apologies.
And there wasn't a use of word तकरीबन, क्योंकि अगर तकरीबन होता तो ये पॉइंट ऑर्डर में नहीं होता, बट प्रिसाइजली मुझे ध्यान है तकरीबन नहीं था इसमें।
सर कैन आई
ओके सर।
हेलो,
अपॉलॉजी।
हाँ जी,
मैं कुछ बोल सकता हूँ उसमें?
क्यों बोलना है आपको?
नहीं पूछा
नहीं तो क्यों बोलना है, मतलब ये थोड़ी मैं कुछ बोल सकता हूँ।
नहीं वो एग्रीकल्चर एंड अलाइड सेक्टर का है, वो कॉम्बिनेशन है, और एग्रीकल्चर नहीं। हाँ
नहीं हो पाएगा।
अच्छा ठीक है।
हाँ जी, शिंदे साहब फरमाएं।
सर एक पॉइंट ऑफ इंक्वायरी है।
नहीं हो सकता। हाँ, पार्लियामेंट्री इंक्वायरी पूछे।
सर अभी 0 आवर के लिए क्वेश्चंस हम अपडेट कर सकते हैं क्या चैट बॉक्स में?
हाँ करिए ना सर, बोला है लंच से पहले कर सकते हैं।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
Let's move on to the next speaker.
We have the next speaker, Arjun Munda. Next one, please.
Yes, thank you, Speaker. हाँ, भारत का किसान आज भी गरीब है क्योंकि वह टेक्नोलॉजिकली बैकवर्ड है। भारत की जीडीपी का अप्रॉक्स 15% एग्रीकल्चर से आता है। साउंड्स इंप्रेसिव, लेकिन हमारे भारत का 50% से भी ज्यादा नागरिक किसानी से जुड़ा हुआ है। भारत के 86% से भी ज्यादा अप्रॉक्स किसान स्मॉल फार्मर्स है जिनके पास 2 हेक्टेयर से भी कम लैंड है। सो उनके लिए एक तरीके से हम देखें तो 5 लाख का ट्रैक्टर खरीदना एक इम्पॉसिबल सी सिचुएशन लगती है। सो इस समस्या का समाधान लाने के लिए हमारी गवर्नमेंट में एक नया जो स्टार्टअप, हमारे उभरते हुए स्टार्टअप्स आए हैं जिसका नाम खुद ही समाधान है, उसको बहुत प्रोत्साहन देना चाहिए। समाधान एक ऐसा मॉडल है जैसे कि आज हमारे पास एक आम आदमी के पास कोई कार नहीं है, लेकिन अगर उसे कार चाहिए होती तो वो अपना फोन खोलता है, ओला उबर का ऐप खोलता है, बुक करता है, कार चला जाता है। सेम इसी मॉडल पे समाधान भी काम करता है। फार्मर्स को एक क्या कहते हैं रेंट बेसिस पे ट्रैक्टर्स फैसिलिटीज प्रोवाइड कराता है। समाधान फार्मर किसान अपना फोन खोल के समाधान ऐप से कभी भी ट्रैक्टर्स यूज कर सकता है और अपना जाके इन्वेस्टमेंट और एग्रीकल्चर को क्या कहते हैं प्रोड्यूस को में भी दुगना भी कर सकता है। बिकॉज उनके लिए ट्रैक्टर फैसिलिटीज खुद से खरीदना या फिर फाइनेंस कराना वो इम्पॉसिबल है, बट इस तरीके से वो बिना पैसे इतना खर्च किए हुए भी ये फैसिलिटीज एंजॉय कर सकता है। और इस स्टार्टअप्स को, और हम जैसे कि हमारे देखते हमारा भारत अनिश्चितताओं का देश है, हमारे कहते हैं यंग और ब्रिलियंट माइंड ने जैसे सॉल्यूशन लाए हैं तो हम उन्हीं को पुश फॉरवर्ड, हमारी सरकार उन्हीं को पुश फॉरवर्ड करना चाहेगी। और इनको आगे रखते हुए हम हमारी कहते हैं फूड की प्रॉब्लम्स और किसानों की समस्याओं का समाधान करना चाहेंगे। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. We have the last speaker. Yes, Nirmala Sitharaman.
Yes, so I have a point of inquiry, sir. I was asking, sir, I know it's not I don't know if you tell me yes, but the Commonwealth Games are going, so can we have a prize of can we have a prize of motion for our to praise them for our athletes who have won medals after 0 hour, if everyone is thinking just a thanking motion for winning medals related to Commonwealth Games.
Was it just me or Nirmala Sitharaman ji wasn't?
He is not audible.
Okay, now I am audible.
Yes, you were from the beginning itself.
Yeah, I can repeat my question. I was asking, can after this agenda is over, just we can pass a motion to appreciate our athletes who have won medals in Commonwealth and for their good performance in Commonwealth.
Come again, please, sir.
Hello.
May I beg your pardon, sir?
Yeah, I can repeat.
Yes, please.
Yeah, sir, I was having a point of inquiry. Can after this agenda is over, we can pass a motion to congratulate our athletes who are winning medals in Commonwealth.
करो ना सर, किसने रोका, किसको परेशान करो, एजेंडा छोड़ के सब डिबेट करो। All right, thank you. Hardeep Singh Puri sir, what point, sir? You are the last speaker, right?
Yes, I believe Leah had taken the name of Nirmala Sitharaman as the last speaker, and to that point I raised my hand that I am the last speaker.
Sir, Nirmala Sitharaman isn't the last speaker. The point is he raised his hand in between. So his concern was to be acknowledged.
Yes.
Hardeep Singh Puri, you're the last speaker. You may go ahead.
Yes, just a second. On 3, 2, 1. problems faced by Indian farmers have been discussed to an extent, to a very extensively in this. However, I would now like to address some of the key issues, some of the key solutions that were discussed, and some that were left out in the form of in my speech here. So, first of all, why do we need agritech reforms in agriculture? 42% of the work is in the agricultural sector. We need to better their income. We need their betterment, and that is why we need agritech solutions. Now, there are some solutions like automated irrigation, in which the irrigation service delivers crop yield increase and water and energy cost saving services, all while conserving the environment. Then there's hydroponics, a method of growing crops without soil, supplying necessary nutrients through water. Similarly, vertical farming, precision farming, and a lot many processes are still there. I remember Supriya Sule madam mentioned the point that uncertainty in weather conditions decreases investor interest and everything. I'd like to point out that one of the agritech solutions here is using weather forecasts to optimize planting and harvesting of crops. Genetically modified crops can be used to achieve the desired quality and quantity of crops that we need. Agriculture insurance mechanism, the government admits, in India has been very less. Only 15 out of 192 mega hectares of gross sown area is insured in India, compared to US at 70% and China at 50 and 65%. The government aims to bring in more agriculture insurance mechanisms. Apart from that, the literacy has been taught again and again. Modi ji showed so many platforms. However, yes, we understand awareness and literacy both are lacking, and hence the government is planning to opening information and guidance centers in every large district of the country, increasing skill development and awareness seminars. And this government is totally committed to the betterment of the farmers, and that is why we believe that the government side should be supported here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, all right. So we are done with the time that was allocated to this particular short period discussion. Any points on the floor? Hello. Are there any points on the floor? Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir,
Yes,
you
we
are
are
audible.
audible.
You are audible.
So are there any points on the floor? Yes, Lal sir,
Sir, point of parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, sir.
Sir, when can we table bills? Is there time allocated separately for that, or
Yes,
how
sir.
does this work?
When can you table bills? Sir, you can table bill by 1 p.m. before we break for the lunch. We'll go through your bill during the lunch time. If it is in order in the proper format, we'll seek the House's approval to table it. If not, we'll turn it down.
Okay, sir. But parliament, the private members' bills don't usually pass. So, what is the procedure for that?
Sir, private member bills don't usually pass because the point is any private member cannot generate the amount of support which is required to get a bill pass. So bill pass होने का Indian Parliament में बड़ा सीधा सा system है कि it will be 50% plus 1 for a regular bill if it is not a constitutional amendment or anything. So considering the fact that this happens to be a regular bill, you will be requiring 50% plus 1.
Okay, sir. So, how do I raise the motion for that? For
So you first submit the bill to us, then we will discuss before lunch as to what is the procedure to get a bill passed.
To the speaker.
Yeah. What point do you guys?
Sir, point of parliamentary inquiry. Sir, recommendations as well as sent to you other than bills. Can we send? Sir, till what time? 1 p.m.
हाँ, रिकमेंडेशन तो वैसे कभी भी भेज सकते हो आप।
ओके सर, ओके सर।
और ये है कि हाँ 1 PM तक ही भेज दो तो बढ़िया है, क्योंकि आपको भी देश सुधारना थोड़ी है। You are even interested in your marks, so you, I believe you require it before.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Send it by lunch. Send it before lunch.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, any other questions? Any other points of the floor? Seeing none, any other motion on the floor? Lal Rosanga Sahab, kindly put your hand down. Ji Narendra Modi ji.
Motion to move to a short period discussion on the topic, the agriculture, the emphasis on the agriculture sector in the union budget of 2022-2023 with focus on scarcity of resources. Per speaker time 2 minutes and total time an hour. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are. All right, perfect. Nirmala Sitaraman, to what point you rise?
No, sir, I am to don't what to any rise. I was just supporting his time.
यार मतलब तुम्हें कुछ शौक है क्या हाथ खड़ा करने का गुरु? मतलब have I seek support for his motion? Did I ask anyone to vote for his motion? No, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move ahead. The point is we'll vote upon the motion proposed by the Honorable Prime Minister on a total time period of 60 minutes, per speaker's time being 2 minutes, for an emphasis on agriculture sector in the recent budget and focusing on the scarcity of resources. Those in favor may raise their hands now. All right, I believe we have 15 members, more than 15 now. So this motion clearly passes. We are now in a short period discussion for a total time period of 60 minutes on the topic emphasis on agriculture sector in budget and focusing on scarcity of resources. Narendra Modi Sahab, you would like to be the first speaker, right?
Sir, last speaker.
Sir, last isn't up to you. You can only be the first speaker, or
Sir, I'll reserve my right to speak.
Who wish to speak on this particular short period discussion? Make ID. Anji?
Sir, point of parliamentary inquiry.
Yes, sir, please.
Reserving my right to speak does allow me to go last, right?
Maybe.
All right, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be seeking speakers. C. Lal Rosanga. Badru.
Raro Sangha. We have Harsimrat Kaur.
Ma'am, can you repeat what you said?
Ma'am, I was not raising hand. I was raising for before once. Can you just cut my name and put at last?
Sorry, you're not audible.
Number. Hello, ma'am.
Yes, Harsimrat Kaur.
Ma'am, I want to raise my hand after some speakers, say like 6 or 7 speakers speaks, then I want to speak on the same topic.
Okay. All right. So we'll have Silas Rosanga, then we'll have Nirmala Sitaraman. We have Mahma Moitra. Please lower your hands after you are recognized. Rahul Gandhi. Giriraj Singh. A. Raja. Shri Bhupendra Yadav. Mane Srinivas Reddy. Harsimrat Kaur Badal. Hardeep Singh Puri. Piyush Goyal. Farooq Abdullah. And Rajnath Singh. C. Lal Sangha. Yes.
Did you recognize me earlier? Because I think I got disconnected in that.
May I know who is speaking? I am not able to see who is speaking.
Supriya Sule.
Okay, Supriya, we'll have you last after Rajnath Singh. C. Rosanga, you have the floor for the next 2 minutes. You may go ahead.
So I would like to begin by saying that the data from the FCI or Food Corporation of India shows that 33% of paddy and 60% of wheat procurement in the past 10 years has been from Haryana and Punjab. Their share of production is actually just half of what the government has bought from them. This leads to uneven revenue distribution among states and leaves other states devoid of any opportunities. The government needs to increase MSP on other crops and reduce paddy and wheat. Warehouses. The storage of buffer stock will also become easier if government needs less space to hold current stock. And the amount of non-issuable and substandard grains will be reduced too, because damage during storage will be minimized. The wastage of grains due to this phenomenon has amounted to a huge quantity that touched about 1,453 metric tons in June 2020. a high-level committee also suggested that this move will liberalize the markets if interstate trade is allowed. This can be done with suitable taxation that was absent in the previous ordinances issued by the president on behalf of the ruling party. And I will also be introducing a private members bill for the same with suitable taxations, obviously. The government can assure that they will pass this bill, at which point I will withdraw the bill and offer my support to the government. Thank you.
Points well noted, sir. Further, we have the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji, and I would also, there are a few POIs.
Raise a point of order.
Yes, I recognize the point of order. Please go ahead.
The paddy procurement, and he said that the FCI is procuring most of its share from Punjab, but that's not true. It's actually from Assam. I would like to highlight that point. Deputy Speaker, sir, you're not audible.
What point do you raise?
So it's a point of order regarding the honorable member said the government has procured around 36% of wheat, but it is actually 40%. He specifically said 33% paddy and 36% wheat, whereas for wheat it is 40%.
I said 60% wheat. And 30% paddy.
The Mane was ready to what point do you?
At point of parliamentary inquiry, can I?
Please go ahead.
Sir, can you put it down the number of preference of order in बोलने का वो आप भेज सकते हैं क्या chat में?
Yes, it would be put up in a short while.
Okay. Thank you.
I think it is available on the chat box.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. And to the first question by Shrikant Shinde, sir, do you have an answer? Sri Lal Rosana regarding
I could provide links for my sources if you would like.
Sir, I have the actual report from the FCI.
For which year?
Sir, the current year, for the previous year, 2021-2022, and the data is reported up to 14 July 2022.
No, I was not talking about 2022.
So you should have mentioned that.
I mentioned that.
I hope it is clear now. And I would also like to raise a point that I have been seeing questions which are not in the particular format I have mentioned. I can see, for example, to Dharmendra Pradhan, there is no form. Who is sending questions to that? And such questions may be discarded as they are not in the format. Hence, please note this. Further,
Can
we have
you on the
Nirmala
timer,
Sitharaman.
please?
Yes. Hey, can please share screen? Yes, Rajnath Singh ji.
Yes, point of parliamentary inquiry. Would the Deputy Speaker kindly jog up a memory once again as to the format of 0-hour questions?
So
that we put it up in the correct format.
Yeah. The format is first you mention from for example, first of all you write to, for example, Rajnath Singh from a particular member of the opposition, the name XYZ, and the question should be well punctuated and it should look parliamentary.
Sorry, sir, your voice broke in between. Could you please repeat?
Could you please repeat, sir?
The format is to the particular ministry or to the particular parliamentarian from expressive parliamentarian, then the question. And the question should be well punctuated and grammatically correct. I can see a few questions that are multiple question marks and are not punctuated well. Hence, please keep that in mind.
Okay, sir. Thanks a lot.
Yes. Sir, can I? 1, 2, 3, start. So, respected Deputy Speaker, sir, thank you for allowing me to speak. Today, we are discussing about the budget of this year of the agriculture and scarcity of resources, which is a very important topic. So, for the budget, this year we have provided 1.24 crore lakh budget, which is little highest of 3% of the GDP. And I know we have to increase it. We have also provided so that there is no scarcity of resources of like fertilizers, 2.15 lakh crore in the current year for the subsidy, so that the farmers can buy easily subsidized considering the global concerns. And I want to like, sir, there were so many opposition members who were telling that this is not happening. We have for scarcity of resources, there is the biggest problem is the irrigation. For that, we have in 2015, when late Arun Jaitley was the finance minister, he had launched PM Kisan Sinchai Yojana, for which we had provided on first with the objective to achieve convergence of investments in irrigation sector at field level. The scheme aims at providing end-to-end solution on irrigation supply chain via water resources. So it was a very useful scheme, sir, and the scheme has been continued from 2021 to 2026. Also, sir, we have for the farmers, they don't have scarcity of credit, so we are providing them very enough credit, sir. And I'm to just thank Prime Minister for giving me the opportunity and thinking about the farmers. And I'm to just end my statement with Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, and we will always be with the farmers of this country. Thank you.
Points well noted. Further, do we have any questions? And move on to the next speaker, that is Madam Nova.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker sir, for recognizing me. हम सब जानते हैं भारत एक कृषि प्रधान देश है. रूलिंग पार्टी भी इस बात से एग्री करती है. कम से कम हम एक चीज पे तो पॉइंट पाते हैं. बट इनकी पॉलिसीज और इनके बजट्स फार्मर के फेवर में कभी नहीं होती है. किसानों के लिए इन्होंने मुट्ठी भर बजट बना के रखा है. मुट्ठी भर. इनके बजट सिर्फ अमीरों को अमीर बनाते हैं और गरीबों को गरीब. Budget is intended to benefit only big corporate houses such as Tata's, Birla's, Ambani's, and Adani's, because obviously who cares about the poor farmers? And then they say that opposition instigates the farmers. No, we don't, sir. आपकी policies भी बता देती हैं कि आप कितना सोचते हैं उनके बारे में. It is an utter failure in terms of the agricultural field. आपकी मुट्ठी भर some जो आपने allot किए हैं research in agriculture field shows how interested you are in making the population work for the farming sector. It shows how you are interested in making people think about the farming sector. The cut in the food subsidies shows that very well. You have cut the subsidies and then you say that no, we are willing to work for the farmers. No, sir, you're not. You're trying to just make the richest rich, widening the gap between the poor and the rich. प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने कहा था 2022 is the year of the farmers. We'll double the income of the farmers. Sir, doubling तो छोड़िए, आपने तो उनकी subsidies ही काट दी हैं. आप double करने की बात कर रहे हैं. Doubling नहीं हो रही है यहाँ पे. You're trying to reduce whatever they're earning, and then you say that you work for the people. No, sir, you only work for yourself and your party. In the name of power and the people's and the support that you've been given, you're misusing the power and the support of the people. My question to Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman ji, आपने बजट क्या सोच के बनाया था ये तो मुझे भी नहीं पता, but ये बजट साफ-साफ दिखा देता है कि आप कितने concerned हैं about the farmers. The scarcity of resources, of the water level, future generation is not going to suffer. And the concerns that government has shown is absolutely nil. I would love to know what you have done for this. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Maitra. Any points on the floor?
Yes, sir, my point of order.
All right, sir, go ahead, please.
Yeah, so sir, Mr. Mahema Motra tell that we have stopped subsidies. In fact, we are not. This year, government is giving 2.15 lakh crore in the fertilizer subsidy.
Sir, I said you have cut subsidies.
Madam
Sir,
Motra, I am here to administer the debate.
Sorry, sir.
Kindly let me rule. If there is any sort of an explanation required, you will be provided an opportunity.
Sir, she told that we have cut the subsidy. In fact, we have raised the subsidy 2.15 lakh crore for the fertilizer subsidy. Sir, budget में 1.23 हुआ था. उसके बाद वापस हमने 2.15 lakh crore subsidy दी, sir.
Sir, fertilizer subsidy is the only head of subsidy as far as the budget is concerned.
No, sir, लेकिन no, sir, but she told that subsidy काट दी है आपने.
हाँ, तो सर उन्होंने ये भी नहीं बताया ना किस चीज में सब्सिडी काटी है. I do not want to intervene substantially. That's why I'm not telling you the name कि आपने कहाँ पे subsidies काटी है. But yes, you have turned down or cut down a few subsidies.
Okay, sir. Point noted.
Sir, so actually wait for it to be a fact, right? She haven't specified which subsidy actually, but there are subsidies that you have cut.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any other points on the floor? Seeing none, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, sir, you have the floor for next 2 minutes. Go ahead.
As I've spoken about this in my earlier discussions as well, this government really needs to start focusing on agricultural education, science, and management of natural resources. Ironically, this government has made the largest cuts in these very sectors. It's made a cut on agricultural education, animal science, crop science, and management of natural resources. There's been a 14.35% cut on crop science, and the Parliamentary Committee on Agriculture, Animal Husbandry, and Food Processing has also expressed its great displeasure on the budget reduction, as this has been lower than the revised budget of the previous year and far below what was the budget estimate. Besides this, the government also has reduced the fund allocations that each state gets under particular schemes. And this is a trend that has been seen. There's been a decline in the amount of funds that are given, with some states even getting less than 50% of what they used to in 2018. And this clearly shows where the government's intentions are, and they're definitely not with the farmers and the agricultural sector in this country. So I would like to urge this government to reconsider its stance, improve budget in research on agriculture, and increase the fund allocated under schemes so that beneficiaries actually get what they deserve, and we can alleviate the plight of the farmers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gandhi. Any points on the speech made by Mr. Rahul Gandhi?
Permission to speak?
Yes, please.
So the Rahul Gandhi mentioned that we have reduced the budget in the Agriculture Research and Education Department, but like to point out that the budget was not reduced. I would agree that the budget was not increased, but the amount has been remained the same, but it was specifically not decreased, and not decreased amount of 14% that she mentioned.
Quite very well in order, sir.
Can I speak? I
was speaking, right?
Yeah.
Sir, she categorically mentioned in 2018. Her comparing was done with respect to 2018's budget. And the government has substantially reduced the agricultural research from 2018 to 2019. So despite the fact that your statement or your point would have been in order if it was with respect to the 2020-21 budget, but she was talking about 2018. Say I'm not in.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I also wanted to add that the 14.35% was on crop
Madam,
science.
not required, please. You have already lapsed your time. Yeah, Agrarian.
Thank you for the opportunity, Speaker sir. So when we discuss this current topic regarding the budget allocated to agriculture and resource scarcity. So when it comes to the scarcity of resources, we need to first realize what are the resources and in which fields is this scarcity actually in. So when it comes to agriculture, it can either be in the things which go into the entire process of raising a crop, which will be in terms of fertilizers and irrigation facilities, or else this scarcity can come in terms of transportation or something like that, which comes after the harvest of the crop. But first, coming to the first part of the topic, which is the impact of the budget, as our Honorable Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am has pointed out, like how the subsidies were increased in fertilizers and what is the total budget allocated to agriculture in totality. I won't go into the specific numbers of that because that has already been done. What I would focus on is something which our government has been pushing forward, which is regarding the modernization of agriculture and what actually we have done in the budget for that. So in the budget of 2022, we focus on the smart and modern agricultural practices. According to the Prime Minister of India, agricultural loans have surged 2.5 times over the past 7 years. These loans will help modernize agriculture significantly and enhance natural farming with a prime focus on agri-waste management. Furthermore, under the PM Kisan Samman Nidhi Yojana, we have allocated around 2 lakh crores and which has been distributed around 11 crore farmers. Also, the government's effort towards promoting the use of organic products have driven expansion in the organic products market up to 11,000 crores rupees. The government is also providing financial support to agri-tech startups and promoting the adoption of AI to revolutionize agriculture and farming trends. Despite of this, as pointed out by Rahul Gandhi, our government has been pushing forward in terms of education regarding the agricultural field, and we have through the NEP we have tried to do that, and that's what we are trying to do: modernize agriculture and focus in the budget. We are focused on the educating the farmers at the same time allocating budgets regarding in certain sectors regarding farming. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any points on the speech made by Giraj Singh ji? Seeing none, we move on to the next speaker, Mr. A. Raja.
Morning, Honorable Speaker, sir. Sir, here we are discussing about the budget and the scarcity of the resources in the current time. Here, we should mainly discuss on the technology import that is being done, which is causing a procedural problem in our agriculture. Here, I would like to mention that our major producer, and my state that I belong to, Tamil Nadu, is one of the major producers in the agriculture sectors. So, our major producers are the rice, which we rank around second, and the pulses and jute. But the problem lies in the chain of export. The normal farmers are not aware how they are going to export it to the other countries and earn out of it. Also, the research institute in our country are not that well developed. The participation is very less, and that is causing this problem. Also, the government no effort on removing the GST that they are applying on the food products, are encouraging all such things. So subsidies on the food and petroleum are also decreasing, which is causing this problem. So the government should increase the MSP and encourage the commodities which are essential so that we can produce it in our home ground, and balance all this and go for exports and make our economy self-sufficient. So I will say this government has failed to manage and direct the resources, whether it be human resources or the other resources that we have in abundance. And also, it's a lie. It's a lie that they're giving 6,000 rupees and saying that it's a reform. Actually, it's a refreshment that they are providing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Any points on the speech made by Mr. A. Raja?
Yes, sir. I point of order, sir.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sir, he told that we are lying that we are not providing PM Kisan Nidhi artists. We are providing, sir.
Yes, sir. Point in order.
Yes, sir. Proper, no?
Yes, sir. I said in order, right?
Sir, can I?
No, sir. You can't. You actually made the statement कि PM किसान निधि नहीं मिल रही है जबकि factually वो मिल रही है.
नहीं मिलने का बात नहीं किया मैंने, बोला तो वो मिल रहा है लेकिन वो रिफ्रेशमेंट की तरह मिल रहा है.
वो रिफ्रेशमेंट की तरह मिल रहा हो या कैसे भी मिल रहा हो वो
छोड़िए, मैंने उस पे काउंटर नहीं किया ना, मैंने वो स्पेसिफिक नहीं मिल रहा है सर.
ये वही चीज होगी ना फिगर ऑफ स्पीच में, बट आपने कैटेगोरिकली स्पेसिफाई कर दिया कि पीएम के साथ निधि मिल नहीं रहा है, एक तरीके से रिफ्रेशमेंट की तरह मिल रहा है. सो दैट स्टेटमेंट वाज इन ऑर्डर एंड दैट पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर इज एक्सेप्टेड. We next move to the next speaker, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav.
नमस्कार अध्यक्ष महोदय, और मैं आपका धन्यवाद करता हूं कि आपने मुझे समय दिया बोलने का. अध्यक्ष महोदय, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि भारत एक कृषि प्रधान देश है और इसी देश में एक किसान नेता हुए, उनका नाम था चौधरी चरण सिंह. सर, उन्होंने हमेशा एक ही बात कही कि भारत ना कलकत्ते में बसता है, ना दिल्ली में, ना बंबई में. भारत बसता है तो गांव में और किसानों में भारत बसता है, क्योंकि इस देश की रीढ़ की हड्डी है किसान. अगर किसान को कुछ हो गया तो ये देश बर्बाद होने में समय नहीं लगेगा. और विपक्षी दलों ने वही कहा, वही किया है. 70 सालों में उन्होंने किसानों का कभी भी ध्यान नहीं रखा, और जब नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ध्यान रखने आई तो उनके ऊपर इन्होंने आक्षेप लगाया कि वो किसानों का हत्यारे हैं. सर, हमारे ही सरकार ने किसानों के बजट पे इतना काम किया कि उतना यूपीए की सरकारों ने भी काम ना किया. सर, हम आपको बताना चाहते हैं कि इसी सदन में पूर्व सदस्य हुकुमदेव नारायण यादव ने कहा था कि चौधरी चरण सिंह कहते हैं कि अगर मैं दिल्ली में शाम को अगर अपने घर में बैठता हूँ और मेरी एक नजर गांव में जाती है तो उसी नजर से मेरे किसान भाइयों का मैं दर्द देखता हूँ कि जैसे सरकार ने उनका दमन किया. सर, किसानों के आंदोलन ने कब नहीं हुए, हमेशा से होते आए किसानों के आंदोलन. कभी तहसीलदार के अत्याचार तो कभी सरकार, यूपीए सरकार का अत्याचार, कभी कांग्रेस का अत्याचार तो कभी एनसीपी का अत्याचार. सर, किसानों का सबसे बड़ा हत्यारे हैं एनसीपी गवर्नमेंट. जब उन्होंने महाराष्ट्र के किसानों के इरिगेशन प्लान में स्कैम किया, वहां के पूर्व उप मुख्यमंत्री अजित पवार साहब का नाम उसमें शामिल है. सर, मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूं कि अगर ये हमारे किसानों का बजट अगर हम पेश करते हैं और अगर उसमें निर्मला सीतारमण जी और कृषि मंत्री जी का एकदम योगदान रहता है अच्छा, तो उनके ऊपर सवाल नहीं, उनकी तरफदारी करनी चाहिए कि वो लोग किसानों के ऊपर ध्यान दे रहे हैं. लेकिन विपक्ष ने हमेशा गलत बात कही है और वो हमेशा से गलत रहे. अगर हमारे देश में अगर किसानों का सम्मान अगर विपक्ष नहीं करती है तो उन्हें विपक्षी दल कहलाने लायक नहीं रहना चाहिए और उन्हें अभी के अभी सदन से इस्तीफा दे देना चाहिए. धन्यवाद सर.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bhupendra Yadav. Any points? Yes, Srinivas Reddy साहब.
सर, जैसे कि हमारे अभी माननीय सांसद ने हत्यारा शब्द का प्रयोग किया, सर ये अनपार्लियामेंट्री हो सकता है.
All right, sir. This particular word is expunged from the record. All right, we move on to the next speaker. Shri Srinivas Reddy, go ahead, sir.
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are. Kindly go ahead.
Warm morning to speaker and my respected colleague. this year budget gives short shrift to agriculture. You can see by this the total allocation of for the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare for 2022-23 is 1.32 lakh crores, that is 0.7% higher than the budget estimates of the 2020-21 and the 4.3% higher than the revised estimates of 2021-22. In real terms, there is no increase in the budget for the agriculture. The vision for the budget 2022-23 and has been limited regarding the for both real focus as well as
Thank you so much, sir. Any points on the speech made by Mr. Srinivas Reddy? Seeing none, we move on to the next speaker.
No, sir, I was want to tell you something.
Okay.
Sir, point of inquiry, sir. I had a point of inquiry. When I want to just ask this, when we are in the house, we cannot speak about someone who is not present in the house, na?
No, sir, you can.
You can? No,
Yes.
because one time I was watching a session of Lok Sabha, and there they spoke about number, and the statement was not recorded because the speaker told that you cannot speak inside the house, as it is not, the person is not in the house, only honorable members who are in the house.
Sir, it is with respect to allegations, it is with respect to some demeaning remark pertaining to a particular person. It is a basic courtesy of speaking that if you are raising allegations against someone, you need to provide them with an opportunity to defend themselves. So वो एक अलग चीज है, रेफरेंस तो आपको देना ही पड़ेगा ना, ऐसे थोड़ी है कि आज इंडियन पार्लियामेंट में पिछली 70 सालों की सरकारों को कुछ नहीं कहा जाए.
हाँ हाँ, वो ठीक है सर. Okay, I understand. Thank you, sir.
There wasn't any allegation, right?
Okay, yeah, sir. Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. Harsimrat Kaur Badal ji, you are the next speaker.
Thank you for recognizing me. I want to say that the government is providing subsidies and all. They need to provide the education to right to every the farmer that how to use the fertilizers and the subsidies. They don't know. They misuse the money for their home services, for buying some goods and the agriculture products. You need to show the prove teach them that how to use the scarce resources and how to utilize the best utilization of scarce resources of the best amount which are given by the government, and you need to teach how to use the best use of fertilizers for them, and the finance ministers need to give them a new subsidies for educating them. Thank you.
All right, any points on the speech made by Shri Mati Harsimrat Kaur Badal? Seeing none, we move on to the next speaker, Shri Hardeep Singh Puri.
Yes, sir.
Am I the only one who isn't able to hear anything?
No, I haven't started yet. Just a second. My Zoom isn't functioning properly. Just a second.
Sir, we can hear you properly. You better start speaking.
Yeah, sure. I'll start in 3, 2, 1. The Union Budget of 2022 points out that the growth rate of India's economic growth rate in the current year is estimated to be 9. The budget this year has pointed out the plan of action for the next 25 years, focusing on 4 priorities that are PM Gati Shakti Yojana, inclusive development of the country, productivity enhancement and investment, sunrise opportunities, energy transition and climate action, and financing of investments. Lastly, productivity linked incentive, 60 lakh new jobs to be created under the productivity linked incentive scheme in 14 sector. This has been proposed by the budget. Now there were some serious allegations raised by the opposition when it comes to the government's attitude towards farmers and the government's policies for farmers. I'd like to point out that what the Narendra Modi has still yet done for the governments, for the farmers. Implementation of the Swaminathan Committee's recommendation regarding fixing MSPs at least 50% profits on the cost of production, increasing the agricultural budget by more than 11 times in the past 10 years, establishing Mandis, which I would propound on later if time permits, an agriculture infrastructure fund of rupees 1 lakh crore under Atmanirbhar Bharat package, scheme for formation of 10,000 farmer producer organizations. The Mandis is a pan-India electronic trading portal which networks the existing APMC Mandis to create a unified national market for agricultural commodities to be sold by the farmers wherever and in whichever market they want. Now, I'd like to point out for the fact that that's being said that the budget's allocation to the industry is being removed. Agricultural cooperation and farmers welfare has been allocated rupees 1,30,485 crore in 2019-20, an increase of 92.5% over the estimated of 2018 to 19. I'm just finishing. More than 77% of the ministry's budget is proposed to be spent on 3 schemes under this department. 1, PM Kisan 54%, the interest subsidy scheme 13%, and Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, that is 10%. This highlights how much this government is committed towards the welfare of the farmers. And with that, I'd like to end my speech.
Thank you, sir. Any points on the speech made by sir? Perfect. Seeing none, we move on to the next speaker, Mr. Piyush Goyal.
Yes, sir. Good morning, honorable speaker. I, Piyush Goyal, would like to put forth my points in front of you. So, the allocation for Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare for financial year 2022 to 2023 is rupee 1.32 lakh crore, which is 0.7% higher than the budget estimates of financial year 2020 and 4.3% higher than revised estimates of financial year 2021 to 2022. As Mr. Puri mentioned, it is the one of the highest budget allocation of the world. I would like to put forth the Department of Agriculture, Corporation and Farmers Welfare has been allocated ₹1,24,000 crore in financial year 2022 to 2023, which is 5% increase over revised estimates 2021 to 2022. Now we have proposed 1,000 more mandis which will be integrated with ENAM. Many of opposition has said, हाँ अब मंडी नहीं है आपके पास तो आपने इसको प्राइवेटाइज करने का सोचा. ऐसा नहीं है. हमारा बीजेपी सरकार वो किसानों के हित में लगातार काम करता जा रहा है. ऑपरेशन ग्रीन स्कीम जो सब्सिडीज प्रोवाइड करती है स्टोरेज और ट्रांसपोर्टेशन के लिए, और उसमें 22 पेरिशेबल गुड्स एक्सपोर्ट्स के लिए और ऐड होंगे. Now we have also included PPP. It means public-private partnership, in which public and private sector companies will merge and will work technology. We budget on and we have also allocated budget on PM Kisan, which is 68,000 crore, which is higher.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, Raja sir, to what point you rise?
Yes, sir. It's a point of order. सर उन्होंने बोला कि ये मंडी नहीं है, ऐसा बोल रहे अपोजिशन, बट हमने ऐसा नहीं बोला है.
सर ये फैक्ट नहीं है, ये फैक्ट ही नहीं है, ये उनका क्लेम है.
नहीं, उन्होंने बोला कि मंडी नहीं है, हम लोग प्राइवेट इसलिए कर रहे हैं.
सर बिहार में मंडी नहीं है ना?
हाँ, बट ऐसा सब में तो नहीं है ना सर, हर स्टेट.
सर तो ऐसा सब में है भी नहीं ना.
ओके सर, आई टेक इट.
थैंक यू. फरूक अब्दुल्ला साहब.
थैंक यू सर. ऑन माय 3, 2, 1. किसानों की आय को दोगुना करना 2022 के प्राथमिकी लक्ष्यों में से एक था, जिसकी घोषणा प्रधानमंत्री ने 2016 में की थी. हालांकि बजट 2022 के भाषण में इस महत्वाकांक्षी योजना का कोई उल्लेख नहीं किया गया सरकार के द्वारा. सितंबर 2021 में प्रकाशित नेशनल सैंपल सर्वे NSS सिचुएशनल असेसमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर हाउसेज SAS के सर्वे के मुताबिक 5 साल में एक किसान की औसत मासिक आय के करीब 59% की निचले स्तर पर है. अधिक विशेष रूप से आय 2012-13 के दौरान 6,726 से बढ़कर 10,218 हो गई, जो दुगुना करने वाले सपने दिखाने वाली बातों के अभी बहुत लंबा रास्ता तय करना बाकी है. हालांकि स्वागत योग्य सुधार ईंधन की बढ़ती कीमतों और बिजली की बढ़ती लागत जैसी कठिनाइयों से अपसेट हमारे किसान इस बजट को अपनाने से अभी इनकार कर रहे हैं. इसके अलावा चरम मौसम की घटनाएं और चल रही महामारी ने भी कृषि मूल्य श्रृंखला में किसानों और अन्य हितधारकों को महत्वपूर्ण नुकसान पहुंचाया है. परंपरागत कृषि विकास योजना, जैविक खेती पर राष्ट्रीय परियोजना और हरित क्रांति योजना के तहत सूचना अपनाए का कोई उल्लेख नहीं मिलता है इनकी बजट में. राष्ट्रीय ग्रामीण रोजगार गारंटी योजना, जो एक औसत किसान और छोटी और सीमांत किसानों की घरेलू आय में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान करता था, उसको इन लोगों ने बजट आवंटन में 25% तक की कटौती में दिखाया. ये कमी एक अर्थव्यवस्था को प्रतिकूल रूप से प्रभावित कर सकता है, जो अभी हम लोग श्रीलंका के ओर से भी देख सकते हैं, जो अभी उच्च बेरोजगारी दर और कम श्रम शक्ति भागीदारी के साथ कुश्ती कर रही है, जिस बात को अभी हम सब जान रहे हैं कि कितनी बेरोजगारी हमारे देश में है. भूमि रिकॉर्ड डिजिटलीकरण जैसी आधुनिक भूमि सुधार उपायों को जल्द से जल्द पूरा करना चाहिए, जो हम सरकार को ये सजेस्ट करते हैं. धन्यवाद.
Yes, any points on the speech made by Mr. Farooq Abdullah? Seeing none, we move on to the next speaker, Mr. Rajnath Singh.
Yes. Warm greetings to the Honorable Speaker of the House and the members present. The Indian government is trying to best to reduce whatever scarcity of resources exist in the agriculture sector after the mismanagement that was seen in 75 years. prior to our in the years prior to our government. And in taking that in mind, in order to cut down our so-called deficit or agricultural machinery in the country, we have imported agricultural machinery worth $0.61 million from Japan, 0.25 USD million from USA, and 10,790 metric tons of agricultural machinery from Denmark in November 2020 alone. This is the steps that we are taking to reduce the so-called scarcity that the members are pointing out. And over time, I'm sure that we will continue to try our best, and we will do our best to develop domestic supply chains. Now, many members had mentioned that there have been so-called cuts in agriculture budget. But I would like to point out to them that the budget for the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has been increased from rupees 21,933.50 crore in financial year 2013-14 to rupees 1,24,000 crore in financial year 2022-23, which is a 465% increase for implementation of various agricultural development and welfare schemes aiming to increase agriculture production and farmers' welfare across the country. Besides, some had said that we are not doing our best for agricultural research, but the fact is that rupees 8,513.62 crore have been allocated during 2022-23 to Department of Agriculture Research and Education for development of several new high-yielding biotic and abiotic stress-tolerant and disease insect-resistant crops. In such situation, it is nothing but foolhardy for the members to say that we are not doing anything. With that being said, thank you.
Any points on the floor? Narendra Modi ji.
So not a point of speech. I would like to go after Supriya Sule ma'am to speak.
All right, sir. Supriya Sule ji, you are the next speaker.
Sir, I have a point of order.
Yes, Raja Saab, pata hai.
Yeah, sir, you mentioned that the budget for agricultural research was around 8,000 crore rupees, but according to 21-22, it is just 5,877 crore.
Sir, I'll have to check and I'll give you a ruling post.
So, can I respond to that?
No, sir, not required.
Okay.
Yeah, Supriya Sule ji, you are the next speaker. Supriya ji.
जी माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय.
Madam, you are the next speaker.
Yes, sir. Sorry, I could not hear you. The union budget that was passed, the allocation under food and national security, the nutritional security has come down to rupees 1,995 crore from rupees 1,040 crore in 2021 and 2022. The distribution of pulses to state or union territories for welfare schemes that aims to dispose pulses is procured for utilization under midday meals, public distribution system, among others, saw an allocation of just rupees 9 crore. Is that even enough? The 2021-22 budget estimate was for the same was rupees 300 crore, but actual expenditure was rupees 50 crore. This again shows that the government is not anticipating procurement and distribution of pulses at MSP. Nirmala Sitharaman ji said 16.3 million farmers benefited from 20.8 million tons of paddy and wheat procurement at MSP in 2021-2022. This is a reduction from the 19.7 million farmers that benefited from procurement of 128.6 million tons in 2021. I would like to highlight that the policy of procurement is big. Farmers sow crops in December, and you assure them to tell them about the procurement plan in March. Is growing crops as easy as a Swiggy service? Land, soil, and water form the basis of the FOA commitment to the changes advocated in the 2021 United Nations Food System Summit. However, recognition and actions are needed to redirect the focus onto the land on which 98% of the world's food is produced. Both irrigated and dry land agro ecosystems need emphasis, and degradation and mismanagement is a vital issue. Bhupendra ji, आपको थोड़ा सा भी सेंसिटिव नहीं रहना समझा इस मामले में कि आपने सभी अपोजिशन वालों को हत्यारा बुलाया है। उसके बाद आप ऐसी ऐसी बातें कर रहे हैं कि सिर्फ आपकी गवर्नमेंट प्रोटेस्ट नहीं होते, बाकियों के भी होते हैं। क्या आपने देखा क्या हाल था जब फार्म लॉस पास हुए थे? कितना परेशान हुए थे पंजाब, हरियाणा और उत्तर प्रदेश के फार्मर्स? क्या आप थोड़े से भी सेंसिटिव नहीं हो सकते उस मामले को लेकर? ऊपर से आप अपोजिशन को ब्लेम कर रहे हैं। We are here to correct you when you're wrong, and it's our duty to serve our nation. Thank you.
I have a sir point of order. The speaker sir went.
No, sir, I happen to be here itself. Are there any points of the speech made by Madam Supriya Sinha?
Yes, sir. I have a point of order.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. She told that MSP ka figure. She was telling that MSP, the MSP we have giving is less or that. But the figures, sir, according to the official figures I have, we have provided 49 lakh wheat providing farmers got for 85,640 crore in MSP during the season of 2021-2020.
Sir, MSP केवल wheat पे मिलता है?
नहीं सर, pulses में भी मिलता है।
और उसमें आपने बढ़ाया है सब पे?
Yes sir, we have increased.
अच्छा, और किसी चीज से आपने खत्म तो नहीं कर दिया?
नहीं सर, MSP खत्म ही नहीं हुआ है।
सर, किसी प्रोडक्ट पे आपने खत्म नहीं कर दिया प्रोक्योरमेंट एट MSP?
नो, खत्म तो हुआ ही नहीं है। एवरी प्रोडक्ट हैज MSP। जो भी आते हैं MSP लिस्ट से, खत्म नहीं किया अभी तक।
Sir, check for yourself.
I have checked for myself, sir.
Wonderful. Then I'll rule on it in a minute. Narendra Modi sahab, you happen to be the last speaker. Kindly go ahead.
Sir,
And हाँ जी, बोले क्या हुआ?
in case some proof or anything is needed, I can provide the site for it.
तो यार, तो prove it to me. हाँ, चलिए, नरेंद्र मोदी साहब, you happen to be the last speaker.
जी सर, just a second. I'll start on a count of 3. 3, 2, 1. चलिए, बहुत बात हो गई यहाँ पे सब्सिडी के बारे में। चलिए कुछ फिगर्स की बात कर लेते हैं। The food subsidy in 2021 to 2022 budget was 2,86,479 crore, and in 2022-2023 was 2,06,831. हाँ, ये ड्रॉप है। However, there was a major world event in shape of COVID-19 pandemic, which everybody seems to ignore, but also seems to blame the government for the same. The subsidy for food in 2017-18 was 1 lakh crore and increased to 1,84,220 crore in 2019 and 2020, which can obviously be seen as an overall rise. The government increased the subsidy dramatically during 2021-2022 budget to tackle the rise of COVID-19 and make sure there is enough food in the country and there is enough food security in the country so that the poor people don't have to suffer. But obviously, हमें तो फिर भी बोला जाएगा कि हम सिर्फ अंबानी अडानी की अमीरों की सरकार है। चलिए कुछ और बातों पे बात कर लेते हैं। Moreover, there has been a dramatic increase in agriculture expenditure ration, on which seems like soil health, crop management, and urea subsidy, again another subsidy, rose from 1.2% in 2017 to 2.8% in 2019, which is an obvious upward trend that the opposition party seem to ignore. और फिर बोलते कि नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार फसल का ख्याल नहीं रखती, हम we facilitate unprovoked use of fertilizers and dramatic drop of soil health. कुछ भी बोलते हैं ये लोग अब तो at this point. The budget allocated to Department of Fisheries jumped by more than 70% to 2,118 crore, and the same for Department of Animal Husbandry was hiked by 26% to 3,918 crore, which is a straight increase to the allied departments of agriculture, which also need huge development. We have also proposed schemes for boosting domestic oilseed production. तो कौन ही कहता है कि हम कैश क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन को सपोर्ट नहीं करते? The budget also announced assistance for post harvest value addition of branding of millet. With that, I will end my speech. Thank you.
Any points on the speech made by the Honorable Prime Minister? निर्मला जी
सर वो पहले का क्वेश्चन है सर, उसके बाद मैंने अपना प्रूफ ला के रखा है सर, जो पॉइंट ऑफ ऑर्डर मैंने बोला था।
सर मैंने आपसे कुछ मांगा क्या?
नहीं सर, सर ओके ओके सर, आई नो यू वर टेलिंग मी टू बी श्योर ना सर, सो आई एम वेरी श्योर नाउ।
अच्छा, मैंने आपको कुछ बोला?
नहीं नहीं सर, ओके ओके सर, थैंक यू।
All right. Any points on the floor? Any motions on the floor? I like to let everyone know before that I'll be only receiving questions till 1 o'clock for the 0 hour. Post that, no question will be entertained. So please be watchful of that time. और एक ये किसी ने मुझे कोई बिल भेजा है व्हाट्सएप पे,
सर आई हैव वन मोर थिंग।
यार एक मिनट भाई साहब, मैं कोई बात कर रहा हूं ना। मतलब now you are actually irritating me, sir. It's just that you cannot drop an as and when you feel like, right?
Yes sir, I apologize sir.
किसने मुझे कोई बिल भेजा है?
Your voice is not audible.
So you want people, I have received the bill on WhatsApp. Hello.
Your voice is breaking.
Sir, if you are talking about the bill, then I have sent you that. Your voice isn't clear.
Just give him a minute to settle down.
Yeah, I believe
You can
it is clear now.
Hi, I think you're still not audible. You can perhaps try joining again, because
Yeah,
even I
so
can't hear you.
That's
I don't know if it's just me, but you're still not audible, Mr. Speaker.
No, sir.
Do we have like a deputy speaker? Yeah, I think you're there.
Sir, can we get a email ID where we can send our bills and recommendation?
Okay. I'm just from the OC. I don't get to decide that.
Okay.
I think your EB, you have the deputy speaker and scribe as well. I think I saw Dave over here. Can you all like step up?
just give me a minute. May I know who is running my committee?
Oh yeah, hi. Oh, you're back. So essentially,
Yeah.
okay, you can just take off. You can just take.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, so basically वो जिसने भी मुझे मैसेज करा था व्हाट्सएप पे, आप चैट में अटैचमेंट ऐड कर सकते हैं. Kindly send it here itself so that everyone else will be able to see that particular document of yours. Alongside, though the bill is in order, but if you want to get it passed, ensure that by lunch you have the adequate number and everything, else it will be a futile exercise, won't make any sense.
Okay, sir.
All right. So जो भी कोई document है, please do not mail me, please do not WhatsApp me, send it out here itself.
Sir, I can't see a space for adding documents.
सर एक स्माइली वाला है ऑप्शन, उसके आगे एक फाइल सा कुछ ऑप्शन होगा.
Sir, I'm connected from my mobile, so
Sir,
is
in
there a
that scenario, I'm not very much sure how it can be done.
I don't think you can send documents using your phone. So you have to either email it to something else.
So he can send it to me through mail. I'll send him my mail and I'll put it on the chat box.
Yeah, perfectly do that. All right, so we are done with the with this particular short period discussion. Are there any motions on the floor?
So basically, sir, we can send our recommendations and bill to to that mail, right?
All right, do that if it is possible for you. It's better if you put it into the chat directly, but if you can't, then obviously you do not have any other way out, right?
Okay, sir, sure.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for any motion. Are there any? जी एक नाश श्रीकांत साहब बताएं.
So, sir, I would like to raise a motion. I would like to raise a topic for discussion on agricultural export policy for a total time period of 15 minutes. Per speaker time 1 minute.
All right, sir, in order. Mr. A. Raja, to what point you rise, sir? A. Raja, sir.
Hello. Yes, sir. I would like to bring a motion in the House under discussing the measures of government on irrigation and disease management of the crop for 1 minute per person.
In total time being?
Almost 40 minutes, sir. 40 or 1 hour.
Sir, for 1 minute, we do not have 40 members in the committee.
Okay, so 30 minutes would be.
Yet again, we do not have 30 members in the committee.
Okay, so 2 minutes for 1 hour.
Sir, do the maths yourself, please.
Sir, how many members are 40?
We have 20 to 23 members. Yeah, Bhupendra Yadav sir.
40 minutes will do, sir.
Yeah, Bhupendra Yadav sir.
Sir, I will like to raise motion for the groundwater revival plan.
So you missed the short period discussion.
Sir, per speaker 2 minutes, discussion time 40 minutes.
All right, so by the order of disruption, we'll first vote upon the motion proposed by Shri Bhupendra Yadav for groundwater revival. Per speaker's time 2 minutes, total time 40 minutes. Those in favor may raise their hands now. Just 6. This motion fails. We'll vote upon the motion proposed by Mr. A. Raja. A. Raja Saab, your measures was with respect to measures. Your topic was with respect to measures of disease prevention, right?
No, sir, it was measures on irrigation and disease management of crop, measures by the government.
Measures taken by the government for irrigation and disease prevention. A total time period 40 minutes. Per speaker's time being 2 minutes. Those in favor may raise their hands now. Wonderful. This motion again fails. Next, we are expected to vote upon the motion proposed by Shrikant Shinde Sahab. Shrikant Shinde Sahab, would you like to repeat your motion?
So, my motion was the agricultural export policy.
For a discussion on agricultural export policy for a total time period of 15 minutes, per speaker's time being 1 minute. Those in favor may raise their hands now. Perfect. We are having 12 votes. This motion passes. Shahzad, will you like to be the first speaker or reserve your right?
Sir, I would like to be the first speaker.
Perfect. The others who are willing to make their statements in this particular short period discussion may raise their hands now.
Sorry for disturbing you, sir. Sir, I lost my connection. I couldn't hear whatever has happened in last 2-3 minutes.
So we are discussing agricultural export policy and we are recognizing speakers for the same.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So if you feel like speaking, can you raise your hand? Lay.
Yes, sir.
Madam, go ahead with the recognition.
Arjun Munda, Narendra Modi, Harsimrat Kaur Badal, Hardeep Singh, Mahua Moitra. Please lower your hands once you're recognized. Mani Srinivas, Giriraj Singh, Supriya Sule, A. Raja, Nirmala Sitaraman, Bhupendra Yadav, Piyush Goyal, Rajnath Singh. Arjun Munda, you've been recognized. Rahul Gandhi, Farooq Abdullah. So the first speaker is Eknath Shinde. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
So I will start in 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Speaker Sir, for the opportunity. India is the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables in the world, but hardly 2% of the total produce is being processed, and 20 to 30% of the remaining 98% went to waste due to absence of cold storage facility. We must focus on our export orientation, as we are one of the largest agriculture producing country. Despite that, we are not even the top 10 countries for the agriculture export. हम इसे improve कर सकते हैं by focusing on better transportation, storage facility, and more of the branding of the product. For example, अगर हमें एक बड़ा brand बनाना है from the GI certified lychee from Bihar, then we need to build end-to-end cold storage facility from Bihar to major port cities, such that every small to marginal farmer can export their perishable produce without any problem or worries of his produce being destroyed. On that note, I would like to end my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any points on the floor? Okay, seeing none, we move on to Arjun Munda.
Hello. I have a point of order.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yeah, so said that we are not in the top 10 agriculture exporting. We are in, we rank somewhere around 3 to 5.
Sir, our point of order cannot be ambiguous. We range from 2 to 5. मतलब कुछ भी थोड़ी होता है. But it's better you confirm and then speak.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we move on to the next speaker, Arjun Munda, sir.
Yes, thank you, sir. So, बहुत हो गई आज की बातें. So let's come down to some facts. Indian agriculture and processed food export rose from 14% during the first 3 months of the current financial year, 2022 and 23, April to June. Now, coming to the export of fresh fruits and vegetables, it registered a growth of 8.6% growth, while the processed food like cereals and miscellaneous product items reported immense growth of 36.4% during the quarter. And export of other cereals increased from $237 million in April to June 2021 to $306 million in April to June 2022. Whereas the export of meat, dairy, and poultry products increased from $1,023 million in April-June 2021 to $1,120 million in April-June 2022. Now, now our government is also creating a necessary ecosystem of export along with collaboration with key stakeholders in export value chains. We are also aiming to sustain the growth of Indian agriculture and processed food export in the current fiscal as well. And the government are also taking initiatives to promote products having registered geographical indications. And the government is also organizing virtual buyers and sellers meet on agriculture and food products with various other countries. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi. You have the floor for the next 2 minutes.
Thank you for the recognition, ma'am. India is one of the largest agricultural product exporters in the world. During 2021 to 2022, the country received $49.6 billion in total agricultural export, with a 20% increase from $41.3 billion in 2020-21. India's agriculture sector primarily exports agri and allied products, marine products, plantation and text and allied products, which recorded a growth of 17% over 2020 to 2021. However, due to a heat wave, we had to temporarily ban the export of wheat from the country on a notification by the FCI that due to the heat wave, there is not ample stock in the country for. So we gave preference to food security of our nation, of our people, to make sure that wheat prices internally don't rise. For that, we had to ban wheat exports. However, the government still allows export of wheat to other countries to make sure there is food security in that nation as well. We pioneer food security all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Harsimrat Kaur Badal.
Yeah, thank you for recognizing me, Speaker ma'am. I would like to say that the India should export most of the things to increase its GDP and to be self-confident. India wastes the most of the food because the farmers are not educated to use of warehousing, and they should be informed of warehousing, and they should export the dairy products and the farm products which are excess in India and which can be used by the other countries which they are needed. For example, Sri Lanka does not have the food. We can export on cheap prices by earning good profit, and we should sell all over the country, all over the world, and export and increase the production.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker is Mahua Moitra. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
Sorry, just give me a minute. Thank you, Deputy Speaker ma'am, for recognizing me. Inadequate infrastructure is one of the major problems that is faced by the farmers who are trying to export their products outside the country. Infrastructure remains India's weakest link. In a data firm, Statista's ranking of 100 countries based on the quality of their infrastructure in 2019, India's score was 68.1. To put this in perspective, top-ranked Singapore scored 95.4, while bottom-ranked Bolivia was 10 odd points behind India at 57.1. India might be one of the biggest exporters, but the infrastructure says the otherwise. How much we can grow if we develop our infrastructure shows very much of this. Congested ports, congested roads, living in Mumbai, Bangalore, Delhi, we all know how much traffic affects us. Lack of connectivity, outdated rail equipment, low credit access, high cost of finance are just few of the problems faced. All in the end, the government should work on these rather than shouting that the opposition is always instigating the farmers. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The next speaker we have is Hardeep Singh Puri. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
Yes, starting in a second. Yeah, so 3, 2, 1. According to World Trade Organization data, India's agricultural exports touched USD 37,371 million in 2019 against USD 23,106 million in 2010, recording a compound annual growth rate of 5.49% during the last 10 years. CAGR of the world's agricultural exports was 3.11% during 2010 to 2019. Now, I'd like to point out here that the main objective of our agriculture export policy are to diversify our export basket, destination, and boost high value and value added agricultural exports, including focus on perishable items, to promote novel, indigenous, organic, ethnic, traditional, and non-traditional agricultural product exports, to provide an institutional mechanism for pursuing market access, tackling barriers and dealing with sanitary and phytosanitary issues, to try to double India's share in world agriculture exports by integrating with global value chains, and to enable farmers to get benefit of export opportunities in the overseas markets. I'd like to end my speech. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are there any points on the floor? All right. Seeing none, we'll move forward with Manish Srinivas Reddy. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
Ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
धन्यवाद डिप्टी स्पीकर महोदय मुझे बोलने का समय देने के लिए. India is the second largest producer of vegetables, sugarcane, etc., and also world's largest producer of pulses and jutes in the world. और अभी यहाँ कहा जा रहा है कि जैसे कि हमें बिहार की लीची को एक्सपोर्ट करना है, तो जैसे हम एक एग्जांपल के तौर पर लेते हैं, जैसे हमें बिहार की लीची को ओमान एक्सपोर्ट करना है, तो हमें बिहार से पहले गुजरात या महाराष्ट्र तक पोर्ट तक लेके आना पड़ेगा, उसके बाद हम वाटरवेज के थ्रू ले जाएंगे. परंतु हमें क्या हम इतना ट्रांसपोर्टेशन करने के लिए भी सक्षम है, और यदि सक्षम नहीं है तो इसके लिए हम क्या तैयारी कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि यही जो ट्रांसपोर्टेशन की समय सीमा है यही बहुत जरूरी हो जाती है ऐसी लीची और ऐसी पेरिशेबल गुड्स और इन सब के लिए. तो हमारी सरकार, तेलंगाना की सरकार ऐसे कार्यों के लिए केंद्र सरकार के साथ काम करने को तैयार है, क्योंकि हमारे लिए सबसे पहले देश आता है, फिर पार्टी आती है. हम किसानों के साथ सदैव तैयार है. जय हिंद, जय जवान, जय किसान. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, sir. The next speaker we have is Giriraj Singh. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am. India is one of the largest agricultural product exporters in the world. Under the current India government, we have always pioneered to make India a global leader. And in terms of agriculture, we hope to do the same, and we are on the path to doing it. During 2021-22, the year, the country exported $49.6 billion worth in total agricultural exports, with a 20% increase from $4.13 billion in 2020-2021. India's agricultural sector is primarily exports agri and allied products, marine products, plantation and textile and allied products. Agri and allied products exports were valued at $37.3 billion recording a growth of 17% over 2020-21. The government has been pioneering to help agricultural export grow. At the same time, just like Srinivas Reddy ji pointed out, the government will be working strong enough to improve the transportation facility to make the system even better. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker is Madam Supriya Surya. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
I'll start at the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. आप एक्सपोर्ट की बात कर रहे हैं, आप अपने देश का भी पेट भर पाएंगे? जो यूनियन बजट आपने पास किया है उस हिसाब से तो आपने और रिड्यूस कर दिया है एग्रीकल्चर में एलोकेशन को. बजट में 3.8% का डिक्रीज है एग्रीकल्चरल बजट के लिए, एलोकेशंस नहीं है. उसके बाद आप ये बात करते हैं कि आप ड्रोन्स भी यूज कर लेंगे. क्या मतलब अभी ड्रोन्स का जब आप फार्मर्स की इनकम कम हो जाएगी, फार्मर्स का आउटपुट कम हो जाएगा, प्रोड्यूस उतना नहीं होगा. अरे सर, एटलीस्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर फिस्कल ईयर 2021 में इतना तो हो रहा था कि हमको खाने को मिल रहा था और एक्सपोर्ट भी हो रहा था. अभी कंडीशंस होंगे भी. drones in agriculture for chemical spraying and it was said that 82% of farmers are marginal and small with an average land holding of 1.08 hectares. यहाँ पर आप केमिकल स्प्रेइंग कर रहे हैं, उससे अच्छा आप एक काम करिए ना, आप उनका डाटा कलेक्ट करिए वाया ड्रोन of crop surveys for planning a profitable market. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The next speaker yes, Sergeant Munda.
Point of order.
Yes.
So the minister said that the budget allocation in the agriculture sector has been decreased, but I want to correct that as a statistically fact that the budget increase welfare the total allocation of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare for 2022 and 2023 is 1.32 lakh crore. That is 0.7% higher than the budget estimates of 2020 and 2021. So basically, the budget has not decreased; it has certainly increased. Not a huge amount, but it has increased.
Point in order, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So this was basically the same point, just the only addition was compared to, as ma'am did not point out which exact year is she mentioning to, so comparing to every last 2-3 years, the increase has been to 14% from 2020-21 to 21-22, and then as the previous speaker pointed out, 0.7% in this year. So that is what I was even trying to point out.
Thank you so much, sir. Point in order, Shrikant Shinde sir.
So, sir, I would like to raise a point of order where where my fellow parliamentarians said about average land holding size as 1.08 hectares, but it's actually 0.83 hectares.
Sir, that depends upon the reports and other aspects. उन्होंने source नहीं quote करा.
Sir, I will withdraw my point of order.
May continue.
The next speaker we have is A. Raja. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. So, talking about the agriculture export, our agriculture export since the independence majorly focused on the making our agriculture sector of our country be majorly oriented toward export. We should our agriculture producers should be enough that we can export all our goods and run our economy well. But in this era of this government, it has been seen that now not much of efforts have been made or even made, and they're not satisfactory. We should focus more on the building the infrastructure project and working on the research. Also, there has to be introduction of few more courses in the agriculture sector, which offers specialization in various methods and procedures of the agriculture, so that we could develop a skilled labor of farmers in our society, which will lead to more and more production and export of the profitable goods. Agriculture trade should increase in our country. But I thank the farmers of our country who in such a bad situation are still keeping it up to in the top list with the agriculture concern. That's it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Our next speaker is Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman.
Yes, sir. Sir, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, sir, and Speaker, sir, thank you for allowing me to speak. I want to start that we were talking about export policies. Let me get the facts. India's agriculture exports touched a new milestone by crossing 50 billion for the financial year 2022. This will be the highest level export achieved for agriculture export, despite facing the logistical challenges. And some members were telling how, and a member of Telangana was telling that how we can do this. For this, we are building expressways and more airports near the areas where there are farms or which is a farm area, so that the cargo from there can go directly from the plane and not anything, and the transportation cost is left down. And we are also running Kisan rails to Bangladesh and to some different states, so that the transportation of exports good can happen fast. And we are also building expressways from the road. So export policy, sir, is growing, and it is the highest in 2022. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Bhupendra Yadav. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
Thank you, Speaker Madam, for allowing me. And I would like to tell you that कि हमारे देश का जो एग्रीकल्चरल एक्सपोर्ट पॉलिसी है वो वन ऑफ द बेस्ट एग्रीकल्चर एक्सपोर्ट पॉलिसी है, क्योंकि हम हमारे देश के लोगों का ध्यान रखते हैं और उसके बाद हम निर्णय करते हैं कि हम क्या बाहर एक्सपोर्ट करेंगे और क्या मंगवाएंगे। लेकिन अभी कुछ मेंबर्स ने भी कहा कि हमने वीट का एक्सपोर्ट बैन कर दिया था। जी मैम, हमने बैन किया, वो बात सत्य है, क्योंकि कई देशों में उसकी भारी मांग आ गई थी और साथ ही साथ देश में भी उसकी कीमतों के ऊपर बढ़ाव हमें देखने को मिला। तो उसके कारण ही हमने उसके ऊपर बैन लगाया कि हम देश की जनता को तकलीफ ना हो, क्योंकि उसे खरीदने में देश की जनता का पैसा जाएगा और उनकी आर्थिक स्थिति मजबूत रहे, इसके लिए हमने उसके ऊपर बैन लगाया। लेकिन हमारा आपसे निश्चित हम आपको बता सकते हैं कि हमारे एक्सपोर्ट पॉलिसी आने वाले समय में दुनिया की सबसे अच्छी एक्सपोर्ट पॉलिसी होगी और किसान फिर से अब धनवान बनने की राह पे चलेगा।
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker is Piyush Goyal. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
धन्यवाद माननीय स्पीकर, मुझे बोलने का मौका देने के लिए। मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि हम भारतीय 3.1% ग्लोबल एग्रीकल्चर में एक्सपोर्ट करते हैं और हमारी रैंकिंग 9वीं है विश्व में एक्सपोर्ट करने के लिए। हमारे पास ग्लोबल इंडिकेशन के कुल 35 प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, जिसे हम पीएम गति योजना के तहत उसे एक्सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। जो माननीय श्रीनिवास रेड्डी ने क्वेश्चन किया था कि हम उसे एक्सपोर्ट कैसे कर सकते हैं। हाँ, मैं मानता हूँ कि वो पेरिशेबल नेचर के हैं, बट अगर हम 16 मिनिस्ट्रीज को साथ मिलकर काम करें तो ये बहुत ही आसानी से किया जा सकता है। हम जीआई प्रोडक्ट्स को बेचकर उससे फॉरेक्स एक्सचेंज कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं। जो भारत आज फॉरेक्स रिजर्व के नाम पे 4थे स्थान पर है और हम उसे दूसरे स्थान पर ला सकते हैं। और अभी मिस सूले ने कुछ क्वेश्चंस किए थे कि हमारे पास खाने की भी नहीं है तो हम एक्सपोर्ट क्या करेंगे। मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूँ कि कोविड के टाइम पर हमारी सरकार ने मुफ्त में हर राज्य से संपर्क करके सबको मुफ्त में मोटे अनाज देने का वादा ही नहीं किया, उनको बल्कि दिया भी। उसके तहत हर एक गरीब को, हर एक नीडी को खाने को मिला। धन्यवाद।
Thank you. Our next speaker is Rajnath Singh. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
Yes, I am having some technical issues. Just a minute. Yes, may I begin?
Yes, you may.
Yes. Warm greetings to the Honorable Deputy Speaker, ma'am, and the members of the House. India is a leading exporter of several agricultural crops, which is a result of our brilliant agricultural export policy, and also because we have empowered our farmers so much that they do not go hungry anymore and are able to sell off their crops for the purpose of livelihood. I would like to kindly point out that India is among the top 5 tea exporters in the world, making about 10% of the total tea exports. And in the year 2021, the total value of tea exports from India was around USD 687.9 million. Along with that, the overall valuation of coffee export from April 2020 to March 2021 from India stood at USD 719.50 million. And I would like to point out that respective members said that we do not collect data of small and marginal farmers, but it's untrue, as we already have the agricultural census, that is a large-scale statistical operation that does the same. With that being said, I would like to wind up. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next speaker is Rahul Gandhi. You have the floor for the next 1 minute. Rahul Gandhi, are you here?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
You may begin.
India has consolidated its position in the global markets for rice and wheat, and its exports are rising. But this is where the good news ends. We lack critical infrastructure that is required to maintain cold chains and supply chains that can reach smaller farmers, making the profits of this trade extremely streamlined to a sect of well-off exporters, not improving the situations of a majority in the domestic agricultural sector. Besides this, India's agricultural exports have been under intense scrutiny in the World Trade Organization, as in 2019, Brazil, Australia, and Guatemala complained to the WTO's dispute settlement body, stating that by the subsidy schemes for promoting sugar exports that the government had implemented, went against the agreement on agriculture set by the WTO, which prohibited the use of export subsidies. And in December of 2021, the dispute panel actually gave a ruling against India. So how does this government plan to increase exports while ensuring smaller farmers are also a part of this trade and follow the WTO rulings?
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any points on the floor? Okay, with that, we have our last speaker, Mr. Farooq Abdullah. You have the floor for the next 1 minute.
On my 3, 2, 1. संयुक्त राज्य अमेरिका व्यापार प्रतिनिधि यूएसटीआर की प्रमुख शिकायत यह है कि भारत पिछले गत वर्षों में सब्सिडी और काउंटरवेलिंग उपाय ऑन एग्रीमेंट ऑन सब्सिडाइज्ड एंड काउंटरवेलिंग मेजर एससीएम एग्रीमेंट के समझौते के तहत की गई प्रतिबद्धताओं का उल्लंघन कर रहा है। यूएसटीआर के इस संदर्भ में भारत की 5 निर्यात प्रोत्साहन योजनाओं, निर्यात उन्मुख इकाइयों की योजना व क्षेत्र विशिष्ट योजनाओं का उल्लेख किया गया है इलेक्ट्रॉनिक हार्डवेयर प्रौद्योगिकी एवं पार्क योजना, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स हार्डवेयर टेक्नोलॉजी पार्क योजना के तहत भी इन उल्लंघन किया है। विदित को हो कि बीते वर्षों में कृषि निर्यात लगातार कम हुआ है। वर्ष 2013-14 में जब तक आपकी सरकार नहीं आई थी 42.9 अरब डॉलर से घटकर ये अब 2016-17 में जब आप आए हैं 33.4 अरब डॉलर रह गया। इससे आप समझ सकते हैं कि कितनी गिरावट हो गई है और इस गिरावट को रोकना कितना जरूरी है। दरअसल ये इसलिए चिंतित करने वाला है क्योंकि कृषि जिन्सों के मामले में भारत घाटे से अधिशेष वाला देश बन चुका है और इससे अपनी अतिरिक्त उपज के लिए नए बाजारों की आवश्यकता है जो कि भारत सरकार दे नहीं पा रही है। कमजोर घरेलू कीमतों और किसानों की बढ़ती निराशा के बीच निर्यात के ठिकानों की सख्त आवश्यकता है। हाल ही के दिनों में बम्पर पैदावार के बाद भी हमारा किसान निराश है। उसने निराशा झेली है और किसान को फसलों की उचित दाम नहीं मिली। इससे भी सरकार की विफलता को दर्शाता है और निर्यात बढ़ाने की जरूरत उजागर होती है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you.
Yes, so with this, we have come to an end of this particular discussion. Now, I believe everyone must have sent me their questions by now. Nirmala Sitharaman ji.
Sir, I had raised that point of order on pulse. So after lunch, we will speak about that.
Give the speaker 2 minutes. He'll be right back.
Yes, I believe I sent you the document. Kindly give it a look. The rest, everyone, for you, we have come to an end of this discussion. I believe we do not have time for any further discussion. I believe all of you must have sent us your questions by now.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Then at this point of time, we are closing. We won't be receiving any further questions. As soon as we return back, we'll be directly moving into a question into the 0 hour for the discussion on whatever questions are being asked. The committee is set to reconvene at 2 o'clock. In the meanwhile, it is on you people as to decide whether you want to come up with a bill or anything of that sort. Lay, have we shared the bill that you have received?
Sorry, pardon, sir. I could not hear you clearly.
Have you shared the bill that you have received?
I have to ask the participant to share it to Drishik Pahel because I'm not able to receive it.
All right, okay.
Sir, we are sending the bills in 15 minutes.
All right, so you upload it here directly. The rest you can see it for yourself, whatever it is, however it is. And then if they are found to be in order, we'll discuss about the bill procedure and we'll conclude the session by after a vote on that particular bill if required. So, all right.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yes,
Perfect.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, everyone. Let's have a vote for adjournment for lunch. Any points on the floor? Yes, Bhupendra Yadav sir, to what point you rise?
Sir, I seek motion to adjourn the house post till lunch.
And reconvene at 2 o'clock. And reconvene at 2 p.m. Those in favor may raise their hands now. Perfect. Thank you so much. This motion passes. The House stands adjourned and will reconvene at 2 p.m. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye. Take care. Kindly ensure you go through all the documents and necessary bills. Thank you.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and a document has been posted with respect to the questions for 0 hour. These are the only questions we'll be catering to.
Okay, sir.
Sir, formal question from my side.
Sir, where are the questions posted for 0 hour?
सर एक डॉक्यूमेंट अभी आ जाएगा आपके पास.
हाँ सर आ गया सर.
आ गया ना? Drishik send it to everyone, no?
Yes sir.
Perfect. हाँ तो बस यही है questions जो हम cater करेंगे. If there are any discrepancies, kindly contact Drishik. Okay?
Can the document please be sent on the WhatsApp group?
Sure, I will. मतलब थोड़ी मेहनत आप
फाइल आ गया है.
All right, thank you so much, everyone. We'll reconvene.
Because, sir, informal question, I forgot to ask something in the proceedings of the committee. Sir, can there be cross questioning on the question for the 0 hour?
Sir, there can be, but a basic decorum is to be maintained.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. धन्यवाद.
Any other questions? Any other points?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. फाइल ऑन करके देखा तो सर यहाँ आज का डेट का आ ही नहीं रहा है कुछ भी. Question for 0 hour.
नहीं सर चल रहा है.
है चल रहा है.
It's working.
No, इधर the date is for the 0 it is 28/7, उसके आगे कुछ डेट ही नहीं दिख रही है।
डेट नहीं पूरे है, क्वेश्चंस पूरे लिखे। यार तुम टेक्निकलिटी में क्यों पढ़ते हो? सवाल है ना भाई, सवाल है, सवाल देखो, आंसर तो खत्म बात। All right, thank you so much everyone. We are set to reconvene at 2. And they should send this particular document to everyone. मैं देख चुका हूँ इस बिल को।
Sure.
Okay.
निर्मला सीतारमण का क्या पॉइंट था मैं समझा नहीं।
मेरे को ये मैं फाइल पे क्लिक कर दिया है मैंने, फिर इसके आगे मेरे को कुछ फाइल पे सेव आ रहा है और ये लॉन्ग क्रॉस सेटअप ये।
हाँ तो सेव कीजिए आपके कंप्यूटर में, कोई बात। मैं व्हाट्सएप पे भी भेज देता हूँ कन्वीनियंस पे।
हाँ थैंक यू। ओके देन भाई, हम लिंक से बाहर चल जाए कि सिर्फ ऑफ कर दे माइक वीडियो?
आपको मर्जी। अगर कुछ है नहीं, आप रहोगे मीटिंग में तो भी इट डजंट अ प्रॉब्लम।